Hello again, everybody. Gary Ferman and Izubee Charles here, and today we are talking about the Miami commitment of linebacker Gavin Nix. He's from IMG Academy, a guy that burst onto the radar for the Miami Hurricanes. They've made him a priority in recruiting, and now they have secured him as a commitment. Izubee, you've covered Gavin Nix at IMG really for a couple of years now. You've had a chance to watch him. Your thoughts on what this commitment means for the Miami Hurricanes?
Yeah, this is a huge win for the Hurricanes on the recruiting trail. They beat out Florida State and Oregon for Gavin Nix, a top 164-star linebacker in the 2025 class. And like you mentioned, I've been covering him for close to 3 years now, and Miami's been recruiting him for close to 3 years now. Despite the changes with Coach D. Nick coming in to be the linebackers coach, taking over for Charlie Strong, he's always felt that connection with the Hurricanes and that entire coaching staff. And that's what he said, led to his eventual commitment to the Canes. He plays at IMG Academy, one of the best programs in the country. Proven winner, a guy that's, been making plays since his sophomore year, and the Canes love what they see in Gavin Nix, and he loves what he saw in Miami. Took that official visit in June, went to go see other programs, but ultimately said, hey, Coral Gables is where I want to be, and the Canes got him on the board. He's the third linebacker commit in this class, joining Ezekiel Marston and Elijah Melendez, two guys he's friends with and excited to get after it down in Coral Gables. So huge win for Miami. They continue to create momentum on that recruiting trail as we enter the first week of July.
All right, so he's 5'11", he's 225 pounds. He's ranked the number 153 overall prospect in this 2025 class, and I believe somewhere like around the 17th best linebacker. That's good enough to make him a 4-star with most services. On3 has him as a 3-star. Is he undervalued, Izubee? Is this a kid that can play better than his ranking here as he goes into his senior season and then gets to college at Miami?
I really do think so. So during his sophomore year and a bit of his junior year, he was injured, so he didn't, get to show his full potential or what he all can offer. But I really do think after watching him this spring at IMG Spring Showcase, I love what he can do. Right now, I feel like he's rated kind of perfectly, around 150, not too low, not too high. But I think if he has a big year that I think he can have at IMG, that's going to skyrocket, and he can potentially become, a top 100 prospect in the country. You said the measurables around 5'11", almost 6 foot, over 200 pounds. He's not the biggest linebacker, but he's very, very instinctual, always makes the right read, and just has a nose for the football, which, is hard to find sometimes in a high school player.
All right, so he picks Miami. Everyone was pretty focused on Florida and Florida State in this recruitment against the Hurricanes. As it turns out, it really was Oregon, which was the finalist with the Hurricanes. Those Oregon Ducks out there that Mario Cristobal left behind to come to Miami, they have a lot of NIL cash out there. Phil Knight is funding that machine up there in Eugene, Oregon. And quite honestly, they have to be at the top level of NIL to get kids to come up there because it's so far away from where most kids live. But in the end, the lure of staying closer to home, playing for the Miami Hurricanes won out. Miami very competitive as well in the NIL arena. And Gavin Nix is the latest now to commit to Miami, which we expect will be landing multiple commitments this week. Look for the Canes to make a big move up in their team recruiting rankings. And we, of course, will have the coverage of it all for you at CaneSport.com. For Izubee Charles, I'm Gary Ferman. Thank you for joining us today for your CaneSport Recruiting Minute.